We do have one more presentation, and that is by our dear friend Sepi Rickardson, who is a council member of the City of Brisbane, is also the League of California Cities board member regarding league activities and proposed proposition to protect local revenues. Sepi.
Yes. Good evening, and thank you very much for inviting me to be making a short presentation. But before I go on, first I'd like to congratulate Wayne for his recent victory of becoming San Bruno mayor. I'm really proud of him. I started in 1995, as I can tell you, sometimes not being a parent, but I look at everybody my age. So when we got together, I thought, well, we started when we were this size, and now this size we are in. So it's great to see you, and congratulations to newly elected and re-elected. And for those of you who do not know, one of the biggest blessings I have in my life to have the friendship of Irene. I cannot begin to tell you that incredible person this lady is, and I wish I could, if I could have cloned her, I would have made multiple copies of her. Truly, she and her family have been a backbone in my life, and through whether my joys and difficulties, she's been there for me. And in preparation for tonight's meeting, I had not slept for a couple of days, by the way. Last night, my eyes just couldn't sleep, and I didn't have any meetings, so I decided to go to bed early because I had no choice. I was just keep falling asleep. And I went to bed, and of all nights, any kind of a call you can tell I got. And one of those calls was from your city manager. But I was more impressed instead of being upset because she was absolutely dynamic for a person, city manager, to call the speaker ahead of time to make sure everything is okay and are you prepared. I'm very proud of you, and I think city is lucky to have such a great city manager and the team. I'm proud of all of you, and Randy, great to see you and all of that. So with that, I'd like to start.
Elected. You're already elected.
So I think my presentation
I
is
voted
done.
for you.
Did you do the presentation yet?
Yeah, I knew he's saying, cut it off, cut it off. Okay, don't give the microphone to a politician. But as you know, I'm Sepi Rickardson. I'm an elected official from City of Brisbane, and I'm on the California League of Cities, and thank you very much for all your vote and support. And over the past few years, cities across the state have joined each other and have worked together and have made significant achievements in the state legislative arena and the ballot box because of the partnership with the League and its members. And as you might see over here, this shows how the League and divisions work with the cities to support local control, provide professional learning opportunities, and to preserve local revenues. And the next chart I'm going to be talking about the Peninsula Division. California League of Cities is a statewide organization, but it's very centered around working together at the local level. And every area has divisions. Our division is called Peninsula Division and is made up of 36 cities. And I'm your representative on the League of Cities board. And it goes from San Francisco all the way to Santa Clara. And it strives to provide its members with information to assist in providing high quality service to cities and their citizens. Regional divisions have been an integral and important part of the League since 1933. The League's effectiveness depends upon the participations and activities of the city officials in the division level. Regional divisions serve a multitude of functions and are a direct vehicle through which city officials require information, become active in their communities and with the League. The division serves your city in many ways, with coordinating activities, analyzing proposed legislators. I think I'm on the third PowerPoint. And through various policy committees that I know Connie and I serve on the revenue taxation, and we're very active on making sure that we can preserve our whatever we can get for our cities and communities. They issue monthly newsletters, and there's this website that is indicated over here, and if you want to get more information, please do so. On my next PowerPoint, you would notice that recent successes through the ballot process have brought cities into a position of halting state takeaways, Prior to the league's involvement, this was just not possible. The recent securitization arrangement to replace funds taken by the state was created by the League of the Cities and its member cities. In my next presentation, we would be talking about the Prop 1A, which was the first step in creating momentum to protect local revenues from state takeaways to balance the state budget. And as you notice, that Proposition 1A passed by 83.7%. And that's just about unheard of nowadays when you're talking about ballot measures and initiatives. And we had also no campaign on 9 that which was successfully passed. And I'm really proud of everybody's involvement, and that next PowerPoint reflected the success by 52.4%. In 2008, Prop 98 and 99 brought a decisive victory for eminent domain reform. For those of you who do not know, it was purely for making sure that we do have local control over our land use and what we need to do in our communities. And regional public affairs managers played a crucial role in the campaign from the very beginning of this initiative, organizing volunteer signature gathering, building coalitions, fundraising, organizing media events, and educating a wide range of group activities. Prop 98 failed in a landslide, and Prop 99 passed overwhelmingly with a healthy majority in every county in the state but one. And I can tell you what that is, and that was Orange County, which still continues to object to any local land use. I cannot figure that out, but I'm telling you, I have made commitment to make sure that anything they want to do to oppose our local control, not to let that happen. So, and the next slide you would see from various campaign and various literature that last summer we were engaging in a budget campaign centered around the idea of the legislators need to cut up the local government credit card. Over 170 resolutions and 145 letters from various cities against borrowing was made. More than 9 media events covering every market in California. Countless newspaper articles and letters to the editors. Unfortunately, this has not stopped the state from taking money from our local revenues. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a serious thing. Everything we do is about the money and providing service to each and every one of the members of this city to make sure that we have public safety, adequate public safety and protection for our people. Last time, the state borrowed the money. We said, okay, it's a temporarily, we put some kind of a measure that they can temporarily borrow the money. That has become a very routine thing for the state to do. It has come time for us to really change the way we fund cities, we fund our operations, but until such time, we cannot afford to lose any more money, because what's happening when you're talking about 60, 70, 80% of your budget is on public safety. Where are you going to make sure you provide safety to people? It's very difficult, and one of my colleagues had said that compared the state to a pirate, and said something is their attitude is anything not nailed to the floor is theirs, and anything that they can pry loose and is not nailed down, it's theirs. So that's how the state is doing business as usual. The state is continuing to raid local revenues to balance their budget. Local revenues needed to fund our local services, recreation programs, public safety, transportation funding for transit and roads, redevelopment funds needed to create affordable housing and promote jobs. All are being taken, and some won't even be repaid. We know that. The state is borrowing to solve today's problems. But there are things that you can do, you as citizen, and your citizen can get active and get involved to protect the local revenues. Past successes going to the voters has shown that the way to stop the state is by enlisting support from every one of our community members, every one of the voters. Plans are underway to protect the revenues that were not protected, because in good faith we said we're going to work with the state to have some time to be able to recover from their mess. So we gave them time to rearrange their budget, but nothing has happened. They have established a habit of borrowing, and that is, we're saying enough is enough. Your city and your residents can make the difference. Join us by working with us, with the league, to qualify an initiative that would help us to make sure that we keep our local funds local. Public officials and public members can contact our regional public affairs managers, and at the very last PowerPoint you would have the phone number and email information. What we need to gather, there's going to be a campaign for 100/100. We have forms, and we're going to have forums, we're going to have activity. I'd like to personally invite each and every one of you to help me and help the rest and help your city officials to make sure that your money stays where it's needed. I love you all, and thank you for allowing me to have a long speech.
Thank you, Sepi, very much.
You.
Thank
Is there
you.
any questions?
Any questions? This is a very, very important issue. The state of California seems to think that they can raid, in fact, our redevelopment funds and borrow from an entity that really doesn't lend. And it's very, very serious, because at the where the rubber meets the road here, I've said it a lot in cities, there's a lot of potholes in the way, and the rubber's getting very thin. So really have to get behind this initiative and get it taken care of. Sepi, thank you very much. Ken?
I have a question. This is going to be a statewide initiative, right?
Statewide
So as
initiative.
long as you're a registered Californian resident, we're not just talking about San Bruno residents. We're talking about signatures from anyone that's registered voter.
Correct. I'm
Okay.
gathering signatures from
Okay.
anywhere I go, so if you're ready, please join me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sepi. And did you want to leave? Did you want to take the voice off? Okay. We're going to wait a minute while some of the audience leaves. All right, thank you. Item number 5, review of agenda. I have no changes. Number 6, approval of the minutes, regular council meeting of December 8th, 2009, and special council meetings of December 15th and 16th, 2009. Any changes, additions, corrections? Seeing none, they'll stand approved.